Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is Mahdalena Agustin from Accounting Class 24A, with NPM 244120025. Here I will explain the meaning of accounts, 5 types of accounts, normal balance for each, and how to enter transactions into the general journal. In accounting, account refers to the financial units used to identify and classify financial transactions. Each account has a specific purpose in describing the financial position of an entity. The 5 basic types of accounts in the accounting system are: 1. Assets. Includes assets that can be measured in money, such as cash, accounts receivable, inventory, property, etc. The accounts are: cash. Liquid assets that can be used for payment, accounts receivable. Debts arising from sales transactions of merchandise, inventory. Goods that have not been sold but are ready to be sold. 2. Debts, liabilities, financial involvement that must be settled in the future, such as bank debts, trade payables, etc. The accounts consist of: bank debt, debt arising from bank loans, accounts receivable, debt arising from purchases of merchandise. 3. Capital, equity shares or capital owned by the owner of the entity, preferred stock, type of stock that has priority in dividend distribution, common stock, type of stock that does not have priority in dividend distribution. 4. Income. Income obtained from business operations, such as sales of goods/services, sales of goods/services, money received from the sale of goods or services. 5. Expenses. Expenses, costs incurred for business operations, such as raw material costs, employee salaries, etc. Raw material costs. Costs incurred to purchase raw materials, employee salaries. Costs incurred to pay employee salaries. Each type of account has a function in representing the financial position of an entity and assisting in strategic decision-making. Normal balance of each account. The normal balance of each account in accounting is the expected position for each type of account in the financial statements. 1. Assets. Normal balance on debit. Assets such as cash, accounts receivable, and inventory usually have a normal balance on the debit side. This means that if an asset increases, we record it on the debit. 2. Liabilities. Normal balance on credit. Liabilities such as bank loans or accounts payable have a normal balance on the credit side. So, if a debt increases, we record it on the credit. 3. Equity. Normal balance on credit. Capital or owner's equity also has a normal balance on the credit side. If capital increases, we record it on the credit. 4. Revenue. Normal balance on credit. Revenue from the sale of goods or services has a normal balance on the credit side. Increases in revenue are recorded on the credit. 5. Expenses. Normal balance on debit. Expenses such as salaries and operating expenses have a normal balance on the debit side. If the expense increases, we record it on the debit side. Steps to enter transactions into the general journal. 1. Identify transactions. Make sure you have information about transactions that occur in a certain period. This information can be obtained from internal and external documents such as shopping invoices, tax notes, cooperation contracts, and so on. 2. Categorize transactions. Identify the type of transaction, whether it is a sale, purchase, asset procurement, debt write-off, or others. Find the relevant account codes according to their accounting classification. 3. Write the general journal format. 4. Fill in the general journal columns. Date. Enter the date when the transaction was made. Company name. Write the name of your company. Debit/credit side. Indicator of the entry side, debit or credit. For example, if you are making a new entry, make sure you use the correct format. Debit for assets and expenses. Credit for debt and equity/revenue. 5. Nominal or description. Fill in the nominal and its description. The nominal includes the amount of rupiah associated with the transaction, while the description provides additional context of what happened during the transaction. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.